Yo, what's going on, people, man? This your guy Six Type Shit Podcast, man. You know we back for another week, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody who tuning in, watching. We appreciate you. Make sure right now, man, you pull out your mobile device and you go to YouTube. You go to Instagram, man. Type Shit Podcast. Type Shit Podcast. Type Shit Podcast. Watch, share, follow, man. Just help us reach more people, man, with this content. And I'm talking about yo. So we got a special guest today, man. You know we talk to entrepreneurs about entrepreneurship, and this is a guy who I know been making his way with music, which is something that I know a lot of people doing it, man. They're trying to figure out how to monetize your talents, how to make it all make sense, man. I got a special guest. What's your name, bro?
Marvin Hawkins.
Yes, sir.
President and founder of Group Entertainment Limited. Several other endeavors, of course.
Yeah.
You know, making it up as we go along, right?
Do you really feel like that?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm the type of cat, you know, I've been in the game for a minute, you know, so I guess you call it OG, right? So for me, it's been a pivot and, you know, really kind of relearning from the old way of thinking into the new millennia and, you know, really keeping myself educated and up on, you know, the business practices and direction and what I need to do to stay afloat, you know, and stay winning.
So what you feel like the hardest part of catching up is it the business part or is it the music part? Like these new songs got these weird rhythms or something like that?
It's probably a little bit of both, man. Like, you know, one thing I will say, and this is my opinion, music is so different today than it was in past times.
Definitely.
And a lot of times now it's about the formula, and everyone is sort of on, I feel like they're on this sort of trap 808 kick, you know, ambient, you know, slightly industrial. The cadence is, you know, the triplets, you know, all of that, you know, everybody kind of.
The hi-hats. I know your wrist be tired of them hi-hats, bro.
Yeah, so, you know, but, it, you know, it's all love. It's dope and it's necessary because it keeps the culture alive. But, you know, also there's creative side, you know, there's a lot of artists here locally and even nationally that I respect and, you know, try to connect with. And, you know, even out of our camp here, you know, we're doing a lot of stuff. I've been working with the group Chiefdom Records. My man, shout out to Grimes, Jason Grimes, for the last like 3.5, 4 years. We're doing a lot of analog to digital stuff, live instrumentation, you know, reviving, you know, and meshing the old sound with the new.
Cause that's really what's happening, man. Like, you can't really create nothing new, man. So you just gotta make like a sandwich out of. It's like going to the refrigerator, like, man, I ain't never had that, but I'm about to mix all this together. Man, it's a gumbo.
Yeah. Put it all together and serve it up, baby.
Sometimes it's gonna be good, sometimes it's gonna be trash.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, it's individuality, and you know, you know, there's no limit to creativity. That's the thing. I always tell people, like, try to think outside the box.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the music, the thing is, you know, and even more prevalent now, you know, to make it in the biz, you really understand that it is 10% music, 90% business. Mm-hmm. So, you know, now, you know, where the industry used to be about talent, still is, but a lot more now about numbers and impressions and who, you know, how many followers you got. But the music still got to be good.
Definitely.
You know, and so, no, I'm saying, in my opinion, for me to listen to it, not saying that the music is always good because we know that's not true.
Hey. And I want to talk about that 90 versus 10%. 90% business, 10% entertainment, man.
Yeah.
People spend a lot of time. It's an imbalance on how you spend your time, and we're gonna get to that right after we play this game, man. You know, right here on Type Shit Podcast, man, we play games, man. Hip hop trivia.
Okay.
You ever seen the hip hop trivia?
You know what? I did. I peeped it. I did. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here for it. What's going on? What's going on, man?
Man, and make sure you check out Type Shit Podcast, Hip Hop Trivia, man. We doing it, man. If you just check it out. Instagram, YouTube, Type Shit Podcast, Hip Hop Trivia, man. We gonna get into it right now, man. I got a little bit of trivia, man. I see you trying to peek.
Now, wait. So is this me answering the trivia question?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a trivia question, and then you see with the seat. Let's see if you can get it right.
Let's rock it. Let's rock.
All right, man. This first game, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you an artist's government name and see if you can guess the artist's stage name.
Okay.
All right. The first one is Kershnik Ball.
Ooh, snap. Is that like
If you need hints, you only get 3 hints. But if you need them, a lifeline, let me know.
I need one lifeline.
From Atlanta. Kershnick Ball. That narrowed it down to about 3 billion black people.
Wow. Let me get a second lifeline.
He's a rapper in the biggest group probably in the last 10 years.
Oh.
That narrowed it down fairly.
So is that Migos? No.
You got the right group.
Okay.
What member though? Kershnick Ball. Sound crazy, don't it?
Can I get my third lifeline?
Third lifeline. Okay. His favorite ad lib is "Mama."
Oh, you know, I listen to the Migos, but I just distinctly like knowing who does what. But if I'm a guess, probably gonna get it wrong. But I'm gonna say, Takeoff.
It is Takeoff. It's Takeoff, man. So you got one, man. You got one. That's
Okay.
1 for 1. That's what's up.
Nice.
Usually people fail.
because I know what Offset and the other one. I know they ad libs, and I'm like, that one sounds like that's gotta be Takeoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the other name? You.
I don't know that, so you gonna test me on that one?
Now we go ahead and move on.
That's slick though. I like this. Come on, shoot,
All right.
shoot.
The next one is Solana Imani Rowe. Who is Solana Imani Rowe?
This a new set of lifelines.
You get 3 for each one.
Okay, give me my first lifeline.
First lifeline. She signed to TDE.
That's SZA.
SZA. That was such a. The hint gave it away, man. All right, let's go to this next one. See, you keep trying to peek, man.
No, I'm good. Like, this is good. This keep the brain sharp. It's like, brain teasers.
All these created by your guy, man. Here at 6 Cents
That's what I'm
Media,
talking
man.
about.
6 Cents Media.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Cornell Hayes Jr. is the next name. Who is Cornell Hayes Jr.?
I think I'm gonna take the lifeline just because I want to be sure.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the first lifeline.
The first lifeline is Cornell Hayes Jr. Tell me if you need a second one.
Let me get a second one.
His first single was about a drive-by, but you might not know if you don't pay attention to the lyrics.
Ooh, you saved the best for last, didn't you?
Cornell Hayes Jr. This female's going crazy. Like, how do you not know him? I love his body.
You see,
You want another hint?
let me get my third lifeline.
Another hint. He's from St. Louis.
Oh, Nelly.
Nelly. Oh! So
I slept on that. It's funny because I'm gonna be honest with you. Around that time, I was listening to the music and stuff, but I was really not dialed into the commercial scene as much. Like I heard the obvious, mainstream stuff because it was kind of all around you. But around that time when that was going on, I was traveling a lot. I was in Japan.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
But just to clarify, I said that his first song was about a drive-by. I'm going down, baby. Yo Street in the Range Rover, sweet sweeper, cock back, ready to let it go.
Yeah. Shimmy, shimmy.
He made it sound so beautiful and up tempo that you
yeah.
like, I didn't even recognize somebody
That's
got
slick
killed.
too. And to take it and do it in a nursery rhyme. You know what I'm saying? A nursery rhyme cadence. That's crazy right there,
It's
right?
dangerous to put bad messages and beautiful melodies together.
I know, right? They don't focus on the melody as much no more with the bad messages. Super prevalent.
But the melody, it's all kid melodies. It's all Fisher Price melodies.
Yeah.
It sounds like a kid is making it up.
You're right.
I think it's because the drugs dumb you down so much. You pretty much a fetus again.
Yeah.
But
Now that's a good. Hey, that's a good analogy. I ain't never thought about it that way. Yeah, it's like all everything aside, loss of consciousness. Like what I'm saying. Like there is no. I ain't saying everybody.
Yeah.
But the heart and soul of the message, like what I'm saying, the resonance, what I'm saying,
Yeah, it's the Jim. It's really some Jim Jones type stuff.
Yeah.
We're willing to pay you to poison your people with this vibration.
Yeah. It's crazy, right? And it's a very low vibration.
Very.
I was speaking on this with some colleagues of mine about the 808 and how it hits that sex chakra, that low, that bass, how it keeps the the tempo mixed with that low frequency, you know what I'm saying? That's like, so you're dealing with your lower self.
Yeah.
So that's why the kids is, hypersexual,
Yeah.
and then they taking drugs and,
Yeah.
pills and everything on top of that. They, no matter, they killing each other, killing each other. They at odds with each other. They having beef all the time. And most of the time it be about nothing.
So you do believe that we negatively impacted by the music?
Frequency programming, bruh. It's a known thing, bruh.
Talk about it, bro.
Frequency programming, like, it is said
Yeah.
that there is a concerted effort by folks deep in the industry to weaponize our culture. Always, when they find when they do it one way and we sort of master that and get ourselves out of that, they figure out another angle. It's almost like a form of enslavement. It is.
It is.
Except it ain't just against us. It's using the culture that we built and we bring forward
Against us.
But they weaponize it against us and against themselves, really, because everybody loves hip hop.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's the universal language now. Like, you can't go nowhere. Like, you talk about the biggest selling, musical form in the world.
Yep.
What is hip hop? The biggest import? Hip hop music.
Mm-hmm.
It was like that. I mean, I did a decent amount of travel in the early 2000s, and it was like that then.
Yeah.
The fashion, the hair, the music, everything about the culture, the graffiti, the dancing. You know what I'm saying? You can go to any Asian country, any country, and it had literally penetrated the core core of the culture there. It was amazing. I spent about a year. I spent a year and a half in Japan back in 2000, 2001, and wow, man. I mean, I would turn around. I see dreadlocks. And I'm looking at them like, are they black? Like, oh, well, so, but let me just put it to you like this. Let me go a little deeper, and then I will digress. I remember the documentary Hidden Colors, and I experienced it myself. They don't really show you in these countries the true melanated people. I spent time in China and got to go to the outskirts and meet some of the farm community, and they were darker than us. Like, it's crazy. I mean, you see that, and if you go into the mountain, like the mountainous areas of like Japan, I spent some time in Fuji, just like I would see like super melanated Japanese people.
Yeah.
And then even if you go to Okinawa, in the bloodlines, things that are mixed there, you see, a different archetype of the Japanese, the Asian, where they got the big lips and the, you know what I'm saying, like, and the hair is woolly, and you know what I'm saying. So they never show you that. Well, we're not gonna get into that because then we get into talking about colorism and all that stuff. But let's keep it.
But it's interesting because I seen I don't know if this was Hidden Colors too, but I was watching something and it was like it's promoted to us that way, as a deterrent. But to people who buy land and stuff like that, it's promoted. They promote the black people of the country. Like they said, if you watch commercials about Asia and Africa, like in Europe, they show you the big buildings. They don't show you no huts. They trying to get you to come. As opposed to us, they like, don't come over here.
Yeah.
Like,
it's crazy. I mean, think about our interpretation and vision of Africa for years. Like, you was like, shit, I ain't going over there. Like, they got flies and people starving.
Yeah.
It was not like that at all.
The same reason you don't want to go to Chicago. You're like, man, I heard.
Yeah.
The hearing is just enough to deter you, but sometimes you got to go find out for yourself.
Oh,
man.
you absolutely do. That's the one thing I would say. I was blessed, being able to travel. And I'm not done.
Yeah.
But my early 20s, and that was the blessing that music afforded me, artistry afforded me, because it took me to places that I probably never would have gone with this music thing. That and gotten that experience and gotten to see other places.
Yeah.
And then it was actually what made me an entrepreneur in music, because before that I was just a musician.
Yeah.
And then when I got the call, how are you gonna get this 6-7 piece band overseas? How are you gonna do it? So it's like, okay, we don't really know how to do this, but we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
So then you start to ask people, you start to do your research. The internet wasn't that big yet, so I was making calls to different mentors, things of that nature, and that's really kind of what put me on the pathway to taking control of my career.
So who influenced you first with music? Who was your biggest musical influence in your family? Was it your mom, your dad? Who really helped you to music? So
this is interesting. So my mom It was 4 siblings. My mom, my aunt Dimples, God rest her soul, just passed in December.
Actually had a funky name.
Dimples, boy. But Dimples was a member of 24 Karat Black, which is a huge R&B group from Cincinnati back in the day. And some spinoffs there. My aunt Juanita, who was sang with the Gospel Messengers for a while, she was big in gospel. Then my uncle Grady, still alive in California, beatnik, sounds just like Nat King Cole.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, the whole family's musical. So I got it honest from all different angles. But my aunt Dimples was really pivotal because she was the one who was out there, really beating the pavement, touring, traveling.
Yeah.
And I just remember she had a boyfriend named Michael. He was a DJ, Mike. And he had a massive record collection. Yeah. Massive, bro. So I would always want to spend time in Aunt Dimple's house, and I would just sit there and throw the records on. Once I learned how to hit that needle to the wax, I would just throw the records on and just sponge. And it's so crazy because I didn't realize that I was literally training myself, training my brain, training my ear. So once I became older and I got into this thing and I was playing shows, and especially when I'm playing the cover music, I'd pick up and play a song I never played before.
Yeah.
All off of memory because I listened to it gazillion times growing up. So I knew it from from front to back. I knew the whole farm. And people be like, I remember people ask me like, how you know so many songs? And I'm like, it took me a while to realize. I'm like, Aunt Dimples.
Yeah.
It was that relationship between me and my family that really kind of, it was my training ground.
Yeah.
My aunt was, for the music. My mom was for the discipline, making me take piano lessons, her and my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? Looking up to my uncle and that vibe, you know what I'm saying? Then my aunt Juanita, my aunt and my uncle didn't live here, but I knew what they were doing. Just, there was recordings of my aunt, and they were really, they really encouraged me and pushed me growing up, And then of course, once I hit performing arts, it was over.
So you went to performing arts. What grade did you start in performing arts?
I was a survivor, 4th to 12th.
4th to 12th.
Yeah.
Kind of talk about that experience for people who don't know. School of Performing Arts is it's real big here in the city of Cincinnati. And what year is this? And kind of talk about your experience there. How it grown.
Yeah, man, that was the best thing, because for me, we didn't grow up in the best places in Cincinnati. Snake Hill, Mount Auburn, Avondale, Evanston. Like I'm from, some of those places where it went down. But I didn't really get involved in the neighborhood stuff because my mom figured out at a young age to get me in there. So I started, I was actually training before that. Started out at the Hub downtown, the Over the Rhine Recreation Center. They used to have dance classes and the skating rink. They still got it.
Back when they had arts.
Art, yeah. So I was there, and then I ended up auditioning performing arts, and I made it in there. And then once I got in there, I was, training. I started doing opera at a young age. I was doing Cincinnati Opera, man, like fifth to 10th grade every summer. Like commercials, and that's how I got into the hot drinks thing. You seen the
you told me about that before. Yeah.
For all you who don't go to YouTube and look up Wendy's hot drinks, and that's a good laugh. Because I swear I never lived that one down, but it was a fun thing. It was like working at a young age, and my original aspiration was to go to Broadway.
Yeah.
I got burnt out really quick on that, but I started my first singing group. I started with a bunch of folks, and actually my first singing group, Nick Lachey, Drew Lachey, we all kind of came up together. Mm. We actually did all come up together. So we were, performing and
Nick Lachey and Drew Lachey,
98
degrees for y'all who don't know.
Yeah, very good friends, colleagues. Shout out to Lachey Arts, by the way. Drew and Lee are still doing it. They got the facility over on the east side where they're still training young artists, young up and coming artists. And I haven't seen Nick in a while, but shout out to Nick too. The whole crew. And I came out of there. I write music by that time. I was like, I don't really want to.
You skipped over a lot of years, man. You skipped over.
Well, I did 9 to 12. So going back, to be frank, I was training. I was vocal music, instrumental music because I'm a drummer as well. I was taking drama, and then I would do 2 or 3 years, and then I would drop drama and pick up, vocal music, and I was, training there, and then I dropped this and I pick up that. So I was really trying to get myself a real well-rounded. The biggest thing was the experience. because alongside of the training, we were getting additional training because we were actually performing in productions.
Yeah.
We were doing, anything from, Broadway productions, Oliver and The Wiz and all that stuff, all the way down to, standard theatrical productions, Dracula, The Man Who Came to Dinner, and then I got into musical theater. So like, a lot of people know that show choir, but it's musical theater at Performing Arts because you're getting, conservatory style intensive training. And
at this point, did you know that you were building discipline and consistency, or was it just still fun to you? Just like, I'm good at this, I'm just going in.
It was both, because it just created an environment where I don't want to say we were forced, because we enjoyed what we were doing. So you're not forced if you're doing what you love to do. Yeah. But it definitely gave, it wasn't an after school hobby. They were really, you had to audition. You could get turned down for a production and for a part, and you felt that sting, like, oh, I wasn't good enough.
Walk up to that paper in the hallway like,
yeah, say you see, I'm not on there. Yeah. And it was great, because a lot of people during that time, the early years of SCPA, when they look back, some people would say, oh, they were cruel, but no, it really taught you about the real world, because
that's how they're gonna treat you.
That's how they're gonna treat you. You go to an audition, they like, next.
Stop you in the middle of a note.
Right in the middle of the note. Like, thank you. We'll call you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Man, I had did an audition for a cruise ship right there on Gilbert.
Okay.
And I did pretty good, but I think it was too much soul on it. So I was like, and it was like, go ahead, stop. Go ahead, stop. This ain't that type of cruise ship.
We're not looking for Luther Vandross.
Yeah, man.
We're looking for Frank Sinatra.
We're looking for Jason Derulo.
Jason Derulo. Nah, it was great, man. Like, I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah.
And it molded me.
How did you deal with rejection, walking up and seeing that you didn't make something?
You win some, you lose some.
How long did it take you to develop that?
It's funny because I want to say I had such a great foundation at home that I was prepared for it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying? And also living in the hood, like living in poverty, what I'm saying? You win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
So,
you win some, you lose most in the hood.
Yeah. I wasn't tripping about not getting the part. I was, as much as I was tripping about getting home and the lights may not be on.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't tripping about, that, not being able to be in this production when I got home and, mom was didn't have enough money, to buy the food that we wanted to eat. Yeah. We were, there were real life things happening, and so I was really happy to be there, because it got my mind off of certain things. It got my mind off those, abusive relationships that my mom was having. It got my mind off of, all of those things. So I don't want to say it was like almost being sheltered, but it definitely gave me an outlet.
Yeah.
And I tell you, like today, if I'm not doing it today, the minute I slow down, I put my foot on the brake, God slapped me up, because, I was built for it, and you don't want to ever waste your talent, because it can be taken away as easily as it was given to you. So, yeah.
What we're gonna come back to that, man. Let's see. As an entrepreneur, you kind of get paid in lump sums. It's not like a job where you work to the end of the week, they give you a check with the taxes taken out. I was talking to this girl, she a hairstylist at a salon. And I'm like, what's your biggest problem as an entrepreneur? And she like, my budgeting.
Yeah.
How do you budget your money? Because at the end of the night, you get done performing, the promoter, whoever, giving you cash, and then you split it up, but then you still gonna have to pay taxes on that money.
Depends.
Yeah.
Depends on if the venue is reporting it. If the venue ain't reporting it.
Stop telling them when you do this, bruh. Stop telling them that, bruh.
Yeah, I ain't want to give up too much, but also, business, they teach you, like, you gotta have multiple instruments. You gotta have multiple revenue streams. So, if I'm playing music, I know that's only part of the income. I need other passive income. I need to be writing music and trying to get placements too. I need to be, for me, I spend a considerable amount of energy and time helping other talent get to places here in the city. It's just not enough for me to be blessed to get inside some of these venues and some of these opportunities and be able to, make money and be successful and support myself. I want to turn on my homie. I want to turn. I've had you on gigs. Yeah. You know what I'm saying. So I always had this desire and this formula of trying to help out my peoples who, and it don't really matter if you got good energy and you're saying you want to work and there's a place for you. I'm down. Like I don't discriminate. I'm not I don't click up. I welcome people with open arms, which could be my downfall sometimes because everybody is not here for you. A lot of people are opportunists.
Yeah.
Can I say that again? A lot of people are opportunists, and they only there for what you can do for them.
You live in America. This is a capitalist society.
Who you are, but but it is what it is. You take the good with the bad, and you roll with the punches, and it's always good karma to be able to give more than you receive because you automatically, time will tell, but you automatically gonna receive if you take the road to giving. You know what I'm saying? More often. So, yeah, man. Like so turning that business, from like I said, passive income to gigging, the club scenes, to getting into private parties and weddings, to doing writing work, getting into doing jingles. There was a time. This is funny, and I wish I had the foresight to like have copies of this stuff. And I need to call Rich, but I used to be like I was fortunate to be the voice of Oscar Mayer Wieners before my voice changed. So every grilling holiday, they'd call me up like, we need you to come in and do this voiceover. So it'd be like, they recreating a picnic scene, or I'd be in the store with my parents and we do this voiceover to support buying Oscar Mayer Wieners to grill out. And so that was like, age 10 to like 14. And God bless and shout out to Rich Goodman. He's doing some big things. He's Lucky and shaking the Spaldings in the Woods. They're all related. Frank Wood and Robin and all those guys from the WEBN era. And then Lydia, who was Lucky and Seven's mom. And, it's just all family basically. But Goldman, he was the guy. He owned Fifth Floor Studios, which burned down. But they had some major credits. Like I want to say Prince recorded some stuff for the Purple Rain album there. Like a lot of different funk artists and big artists of like the 70s and 80s came through there. And then Rich got, after the studio burned down, I think the story went, and don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure just from knowing the history, that's when I really started working with him. He was working with other folks doing a lot of work, with his contacts out on the West Coast. And then he made the big jump. So they've been out in Hollywood for 20-something years, and they're doing, big digital. I think it's a company called Riptide Music, big digital and licensing. Yeah, good friends, family really. But I was lucky to, and blessed to be a part of that whole, I was blessed to have him be a part of my building blocks, putting bricks in my building, to get me to where I am. So, but yeah, that I was getting checks at a young age, bro. Yeah, bro. I didn't even really know. It's like, I'm about to get this check. About to go buy me some Deodoras. Back in the day, the Deodoras. Go get my hair cut. Had the step. I had the step.
Bring it back.
I had the Gumby. I think I had the step to the side and to the front. I even did the Kwame with the peroxide.
Yeah. When you give your birth, you give yourself a birthmark. Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
That's when I had hair. You know what I'm saying?
Bring it back, bro.
Bring it back. I might have, you know what I'm saying? How I'm supposed to bring? Like,
put some stair steps in your beard.
In my beard.
Yeah. Have it multi-level.
That multi-level.
Duplex beard.
Get my wig game on.
They out here doing it.
They out here. I see it.
You can have dreads down your back tomorrow.
I don't even know how I feel about that. I seen it though. Yeah. I didn't seen it where they glue the hair on and then the barber come in and
it's too much.
That's
bro.
Crazy, bro.
It's too much. Your girl leaving you, bro.
Yeah.
She can do it, but if she see you do that, she is gone, bro.
Unless she's super plastic. I call them super plastic. She might get down like, we need to look good together.
Yeah, put me on. She looking for your plug, man. Man, we're going to get into another game, and then we're going to get into some more of this game for y'all entrepreneurs out there, man. Make sure you check out sixcentsmedia.com, SIXXSENSEMEDIA.com, man. You can check out everything we do there, man. The music I create is there. Yeah, man. You can get all your merch there, man. It took a long time to get there, man, but I make myself so happy. He rocking the type shit. Yeah, man. Appreciate that for real. So this is another game. This is gonna be just random trivia. So
you gotta put your, cause I can see the answers maybe.
Yeah. All right, here we go, man. This 90s Nickelodeon theme song was performed by what female trio? So this is a two-part question. Ooh. This 90s Nickelodeon theme song was performed by what female trio? Two parts. The show and the group that performed it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I definitely gonna need a lifeline for this.
Okay. The show featured Keenan and Kel Mitchell. Both their last names not Mitchell, but Keenan and Kel.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
These girls are a group?
These girls are a group. They sung the theme song to the show where Keenan and Kel were actors on. That Keenan and Kel were actors on. So
something's on the tip of my mind right now, but give me the second lifeline.
Okay. The name of this show was also a popular slang term meaning the best. These clues kind of interesting.
The best. Let me get that third lifeline.
If something was the best in the 90s, what did you say it was? You got a new first down coach.
It depends, because the slang changed so quick. I mean, we was using popping.
No, popping. I'll give you another hint. Let's see. This show is pretty much the kid version of SNL. That's your third one, man. And I'll read the question one more time. This 90s Nickelodeon theme song was performed by what female trio?
Pick it 5, 4, 3, pick it 2.
3LW?
Whoa. No.
Cheetah Girls? I don't know.
The show was all that. The female trio who sang the intro song was TLC.
Really?
We're entertaining you. We all of that. My posse and my crew. We all of that. So sit still.
What year was that?
This is probably 96 to probably, I want to say 95 to maybe 98.
Yeah, I wouldn't have been watching that, bro.
You was busy.
I was busy because I was in college, and then I was started. And that's when I started 95, 96. I started playing live on the scene. I was probably playing 3-4 nights a week. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was partying.
You ain't had no time.
I ain't had no time. So
booked and busy.
That went woo, right over my head. But that's a good one though. You gotta, you know what you need. Nah, it's already on the podcast, so you can't recycle that one. But I'm gonna say you should have used that for somebody a little younger.
I'll finesse it, man. I got trivia for days, man.
Oh, word.
Man, this is the home of hip hop trivia. Type shit hip hop trivia, man.
I love it. I love it.
Okay. What's the longest you ever held a fart? It's not. It's got nothing to do with hip hop. It's just trivia.
Ooh, bro, like I probably did it. You know, when you do it and then like you don't want to let it out, and then like you feel it go back up into your gut.
Your body reabsorb it.
That's so true. I'm gonna say probably. I'm sure I probably did an hour.
I had a fart probably from K to 12. I was refusing the fart class, man. That's probably why my life is up now. Did you know that when you hold a fart, your body actually does reabsorb it? It's absorbed into your digestive tract, which then it goes into your bloodstream, and if it makes its way to your lungs, it can give you bad breath.
Did not know that.
It's true. Your body will reabsorb a fart.
Well, so a lot of people, so somebody breath kicking, you can just tell them like, y'all need to fart a little more.
Yeah, you need to fart more, man. I know I'll be having problems, man. I held farts for a long time, man.
My God.
You ever wanted to tell somebody they stank, but you couldn't because you stank?
Because you stank. You like,
oh, I swear to God, I'm going to take a shower and tear you up.
That's when you like, you know what I'm saying, you share the gum with them. You know what I'm saying? And then you also, see, you want some of that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like.
Hey. The next one is Rick Ross, the rapper. You familiar, right?
Yeah.
Rick Ross' real name is what?
It ain't Rick Ross because he stole that.
And got sued by the real Rick Ross.
Yeah.
And Rick Ross, the real Rick Ross lost. It's a cold game in America.
Because he didn't trade. He didn't, because you know what happened probably is the record label. He probably lost it because the record label had already, by the time Rick Ross got signed, whatever label, somebody probably had ownership, part ownership of the name and the likeness. So the real Rick Ross couldn't come back and be like, they like, oh, we done paid, we done paid we own Rick Ross.
We own you.
We own you.
And
he should have just started rapping. Back in the day when he used to be like Roxanne Shantae, the Roxanne, remember all the Roxanne? Yeah. Rick Ross could have freaked that, bruh.
It probably was like, and I heard that they said you like a public figure, so you really.
Yeah.
It's like somebody being like John Gotti could be like, "Oh, y'all rappers, bro, y'all tripping."
Yeah.
Give me my money.
Give me my money.
Because everybody claiming to be a Gotti.
Yeah, Irv Gotti. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's right. So he like, y'all ain't family.
Yeah.
To see a cat like that, he might try to kill them all off.
I'm gonna get it out. I'm gonna get it in blood, man. So what is Rick Ross' real name?
Bro, you got me. I need a lifeline. I doubt if you got a lifeline for that one, huh?
Okay, here's the lifeline. It's gonna be interesting. Okay, if you take his first and his last name, the short versions of them, you will have Bill Bob. That's a crazy.
William Roberts.
You got it.
What?
His name is William Roberts. Bill for William, Robert for
Bob. Yeah.
Okay. This independent woman fell off stage on 106 in Park, and nobody in her group helped her. Nobody. In fact, I think the main singer.
Michelle from SSE. I saw that joint too, boy, and I was like, dang.
She hit the ground so hard. Go look back at it and listen to the sound that her mic made.
And Beyonce and them just kind of looked at her too.
But through all the darkness and sadness, still comes happiness. Even though Beyonce didn't help you up.
Yeah, remember when Cedric Entertainer said she looked like, what'd he say? Like the girl that's waiting to jump in on Double Dutch.
Okay, not this part? Okay.
We just gonna go ahead and put all your vocals on the track. On the backtrack.
I was so weak on that. Like, yeah. Shout out to Cedric for that one. That was spot on, right?
How did she get in the group?
That's an interesting question. Now, Michelle it's not that Michelle's not talented. Michelle, definitely in the gospel arena, she does her thing. But I think that, they probably was, you got to think about it at the time, they was probably scrambling, try to figure, because they were like self-destructing. You headed for self-destruct. Remember that?
Yeah.
Self, that just permeated. But yeah, like, so I wouldn't say she's not talented at all, but
she can sing. She just sound weird with them. It's just like I feel like this wasn't supposed to happen. Like,
but what's crazy is like they brought her in on the tail end of an album that was already created. So you listen to music that had the old singers on the album. When they brought her in, she came in performing, right? Music that was, and then became a part of the group. They probably didn't even factor in that, is she going to sound good on recordings? But, they made it work, man.
They did make it work. It's still odd to me. Like, it seemed like she almost won. Like, all of our fans write in, and whoever wins the contest, you're going to be part of the group.
Yeah.
And she's like, I won.
I like her, though, man. But I think, honestly, at that time, the plan was already set in stone that Beyonce was on her way out the door. I think that they had a plan, obviously, looking at it now, that she, was going to do that. And her father is definitely more about making her a star, And, I'm pretty sure that it was like, okay, let's do this. I think after Michelle joined, they only had one more album, right? Was it two more? It was one more album. Because the Writing on the Wall, right? And then they did, the only album that she was really on was the one with Cater to You on it. And
I don't even think she was on all the songs.
The one with Soldier on it. So she was in that song, right? I'm trying to get the discography right in my head, but I don't think she was on many of the albums. So, before Beyonce did. I don't want to say dip, but before she went solo, right?
Before she fulfilled her plan, her initial plan.
Yeah.
She was gonna go solo.
Eventually. Yeah. She probably, and more than likely, they fulfilled that contract.
Definitely. She like, man, I'm out, bro.
Yeah, Destiny Child probably had 3-4 albums or something. I don't know. They, whatever the deal was, but they,
Let's get back on you though.
I like Michelle though. I like her definitely in the gospel thing.
Yeah. I think she can sing. It's just a weird.
Yeah,
thing,
it was a weird yeah.
Let's talk about the importance of relationships. You kind of already did, but for people out here trying to grow their brand and everything, how important are relationships?
All right, listen to this. Listen to me real good. You will get nowhere in this business or in any business if you are not constantly building and nurturing, fostering new relationships. It's like I said, that part of that 90% business, 10% talent. Part of that 90% business is connecting with the right people that can get you to the next level and keep you climbing that ladder. Also, when it comes to doing this thing, you got to be resourceful. And we all know you can't do everything. You don't have access to everything, and you're going to need other people, whether it be on your team, whether it be doing business with, business to business, transactional, whatever. You're going to need, like, especially in the industry, you got to have the right contacts. Eventually now, someone who see you on social media, you got these numbers, a label to come calling or a person to, come and sign you, blah, blah, blah. But even for them, it's all about their relationships and how they're able to take you as an artist and put you, and it's the only way to keep elevating.
Now, we talked about the business side of the relationships. Real quick, out of that 90% that's business, how much of that 90% is politics?
90%.
Oh, yeah. That's the business part.
I mean, that's the business, and that's the relationship. Like, when I'm even saying to you, like, even when you're like, okay, think about it like this. You're a songwriter. Say you did the whole package. You're an artist. You also write your own songs. You know what I'm saying? You're going to need somebody, if you don't know about it, to teach you and help you with getting your company off the ground, to administer and track your publishing. You're going to need somebody once you get big enough, that's going to style you and help you look good for the public.
Keeping track of your publishing. ASCAP. BMI.
Yes.
What's the private one where you got to be invited?
Well, you got
CSAC.
TuneCore, CSAC. Like, you got a bunch, like, whether it's domestic or foreign. There's a lot more, then you get into digital and licensing, so, agency, all that stuff.
You got your idea? You still got what you got in your mind?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Hold on to that. What will happen if you don't apply or register with these companies? What will happen?
You basically, your music is out there in the wind, and it's open season, open game for piracy, for copyright infringement, people to steal your intellectual property. I mean, if you don't have the right the right measures and mechanisms and people in place to help, keep track, and part of that is your management team too. Your management and your accountant. If they're not in your corner 100%, because that's another, weird area where things can get wonky and out of whack. If you got crooks or the wrong type of people who are managing that, that front, the back and the front door and the side doors, like all of your business affairs. So that's really important, like, to keep that stuff in line, as an artist, because artists don't really have time to focus on that all the time. Now, some of the best artists, businessmen now, you got a lot of people who wear multiple hats. And you want to be able to see the numbers. You want to be able to keep track of things and be on point with that. Whether you're administering and doing all that work, but at least being able to have access to it, not have to make an appointment. Like, it's your money.
Yeah.
You got people to pay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the whole thing is, you are the business.
Yeah.
You are the brand.
Yeah.
Once you get past the artistry, when I talk about the 90%, that's the brand. Like, you become the brand. And everything is attached to that. So it's like, how are you monetizing that? What are the revenue streams and the instruments that flow into that? You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it comes down to.
Okay, go back to what you were talking about though.
What was I talking about?
You was talking about you're gonna need somebody on the administrative side.
You're gonna need people. I mean, you're gonna need a team.
Yeah.
A team, like, whether that's all in house or some stuff is outsourced and contracted, third party services, any of that stuff. You're gonna need the right team. As an artist, that way you don't have to worry about things. There's an even flow, and you keep things in line. And paperwork, legal. It's very difficult because sometimes some of those relationships that are close to you, you sort of do those on a handshake, and you try to, some people close to you want to build trust, but in this day and age, And I just learned a big lesson. Certain people get thirsty and they start to move in such a way, you know what I'm saying? And you kind of got to look at that, okay, this might not work for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not personal. It's business. But the problem is when those personal relationships and business start to intermingle, start to mix, the lines get blurred. So the big thing is like being cautious of that. It's very easy to get caught up in that, especially when you working with people that you have relationships with. But no, make sure the business is tight. Make sure everything, because that'll alleviate a lot of headache and a lot of conflict. So yeah, it's all, like I said, 90% business, man. Making sure that everything is airtight. Yeah. And the wheel is greased and it's moving accordingly.
That's how people get paid or moved out of their position by slip ups. So when somebody slip up, man, you can go in, man.
Yeah. And then
What NBA teams did Master P play for?
Oh, the Hornets.
That's one.
Hey, the Hornets. I'm a no limit soldier.
Hey, yeah.
I told you.
What else?
Yeah.
Drake is from there.
Toronto Raptors.
AKA light skinned Bill, man. You can see all of Drake's veins, man.
That's Aubrey to me.
That's your boo?
That's her cousin.
Oh, okay. You really know him?
Yeah, that's really her cousin.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Don't tell him that I said you can see his veins through his skin.
Next person.
Okay.
I'm light skinned.
Yeah, you're right. What's a sign that you know you drunk?
When every song comes on and you start dancing.
What dance you do? Sometimes I praise dance to the Juvenile 400 Degrees out.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Name 4 characters that Martin played on the Martin Show.
Shanae, Jerome.
Yeah, the Karate Man.
Mama.
That's 4 right there. How many members of NWA have felonies?
I would say 2 of the 5.
That's close, but that's not right. It's not right.
Pick it 5. Pick it 4. Pick it 3. 2. Pick it 1.
Which one?
0.
None of them. Okay.
Nobody in the NWA.
Hey, that was a trick question.
Why is it a trick question?
Because it was a trick question. I don't know.
He's
Did
just,
you think they did?
he's a silly goose.
Okay, let's see what else I
What
got
does
for you.
NWA stand for? I don't know. They're trying to get no white people allowed, right?
Whose house did Left Eye burn down?
Her dude. I don't know
But what's
his
his
name
name?
though.
Wait,
He was in a group.
Whose house did Left Eye burn
He was in a
down?
group. I don't know.
fuck. Oh, yeah.
Wasn't he in a
player.
group?
We fucked.
No, he was a football.
We fucked.
I was just watching.
We fucked. We don't know the
Yeah,
answer.
she wasn't even born.
I don't know the answer.
I thought you said we fucked him, like you fucked him.
Oh
No.
I said, bitch, you wasn't even born.
no. That's wild, bro. Who do you think is mustier, Rick Ross or DJ Khaled? Why? You smelled him before? You look like Dakota Fanning. Can you name the 2 NBA teams that Master P played for?
Master P played for an NBA team?
Okay, that's fine. Let's go to the next one. Who do you think is mustier, DJ Khaled or Rick Ross? Who?
Ross.
Why?
He just looks like he is. He just looks like he is. It's the titties.
Who was singing when Martin proposed to Gina?
Brian McKnight.
Characters that Martin played.
Shanae. The cop, Jerome in the head. Also watch him out.
Yeah.
Okay, his mama, he played his mama.
He didn't play Lil Daryl. You said Lil Daryl.
He played Lil Daryl?
That's Ricky Smiley. What's the last thing you bought with your cash out?
They blocked my
Some
cash
liquor.
app.
Liquor.
Why they block your cash out? You buying bricks?
Liquor!
You know this Kevin thing.
Hey,
What is it? How many kids does NBA YoungBoy have?
Man says kid.
How many kids does NBA YoungBoy have?
We don't know.
We don't know.
How many kids does NBA YoungBoy have?
7, 11.
7. Matter of fact, we got one more for you, man.
Hey.
The music industry, unfortunately, it wasn't really founded on solid morally correct principles. I mean,
It was thievery from the
thievery
beginning.
from the beginning. I mean, you can check. There's books on the hitman. It seems like this music industry was started by organized crime. It was really a way to launder money. So I mean, like you can't expect an industry that started off on the wrong foot all of a sudden to be But that's not saying that things aren't on the up and up.
Yeah.
As things get more corporate, these record labels are super uber corporate. Certain individuals probably move a certain way, but when it comes down to it, if you get your paperwork right and you get your stuff, the deal that's best for you, relationship, and the arrangement that's best for you, you should be golden.
So you got, if you sign up with BMI, ASCAP, CSAC, one of those publishing people who keep track of that, what else can you do to try to protect yourself?
Gotta always definitely copyright. And I want to say this for all you street artists. When you go into these studios, man, and you with your boys and you got this producer and you buying a beat off somebody, make sure you're doing split sheets right there in the studio. When you finish that song, right there, have that paperwork say, and you have a discussion. Okay, you made the beat. You know what I'm saying? I penned, both verses and the hook. You did the bridge and helped with the vocal range. Okay, the split's gonna be. We already know the person who did the composition. He's getting 50% already off rip. He's half of the. You wouldn't be able to do nothing without that foundation. Okay, since I did this and this and this, I'm automatically taking 30. You know what I'm saying? You get 15, and then you get 5 for inking it. Make sure you get all of that set in stone and have everybody sign off on it. Right there in the studio, split sheets. Don't let it, if you walk away, let people think too hard. Somebody gonna try to scheme, or somebody gonna think that their role is more important. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be upfront and honest, but you can't expect that from everybody.
I've been in a gang of studio sessions. I very rarely see a split sheet getting signed at the end. A signing.
Got to, bro. You got to. Got to. When the song is complete, I'm saying when the song is complete, you can go in on the first, second session, but if it's not complete, that leaves a lot of room, a lot of gray area, because somebody else can come in and, the producer might say, I don't like that hook, but I'm going to have this person write the hook. But when that song is finished, do the split sheet. Get it done. That way it makes it easier for you to then register, what your percentage is with your, your music and whoever's administering, your publishing, your ASCAP, your BMI. You already know what you're doing, what you're looking at. So, yeah.
You let cats get home and start registering and stuff by themselves, they're gonna be like, I made all this, bro.
Yeah.
Saw my beat. I don't know his real name.
Oh, man, it's so crazy.
A lot of people you don't know artist's real name you working with.
You don't know artist's real name. You know what I'm saying? And I had a situation when we were younger. One of my first bands, and we cut an album. I'm not gonna mention no names, but the guy who was the engineer and helping produce the album, he didn't really think that we knew about copyright versus sound copyright, which is that sound recording.
Let's talk about that.
You want to own your masters. If you're doing the independent game, you gotta go in with ownership. If you're doing a collaboration,
if you don't own your masters, you kind of not independent.
You kind of not independent because you don't own the intellectual. The property is the finished product, the master. So they went in saying we were gonna all split even percentages of the copyright, but we were like the sound copyright, and that's when the ears and the red flags perked up. No. The sound copyright is gonna be held by my company. Well, no. Then we're not actually getting our percentages because we're getting paid off the publishing is going to be attached to that sound copyright, that finished recording. That's copyrighted. So we want our percentages of that.
Yeah.
You want to know what happened?
He ran out the room and said, "Get out."
No, we got kicked out the group. We were background singers, but we were writers. So we had, shout out and prayers up. My original manager, DJ Henry. She passed on a few years ago, but
that's crazy.
Black woman.
DJ Henry.
Yeah, DJ Henry. Doris.
Was
Henry.
she French?
No, her name was Doris. And she's one of the original singers in my group that I was thinking about that we started 10th, 11th grade. Renee Henry, my girl, my cousin, shout out. Her mom was a beast back in the day. Like, she had us in the basement. Not only was we writing music, but she set us down on Saturdays. She gave us curriculum and books. She taught us about the music industry, what the different, mechanical royalties, like how to get paid off the music. This is what's going to happen. How do you negotiate contracts? What to look for? And yeah, man, like it wasn't for her. When we were in this situation, we had already been doing it for a few years. So we went in asking the right questions, and it just self imploded. And I'm not gonna say no names, but then what ended up happening is one of our people, who I'm still really good friends with, he was the one who acquired the funding for the album. He didn't want to listen to us. He ended up being on the hook when the album lost money to pay it back.
It had to pay it, but he was attached to the.
He was attached, yeah, because he was the one who did the investment to fund the album, and we were trying to tell him, like, listen, like, this is what we need to do, like, this is how we got to move, But every ego is a mug in situations like that, and people think they know, and people, even when they're not educated, we were educated, man, like we knew our. Like,
that's hard.
Don't get it. Yeah, like we're talking 17, 18, 19. We was ready. We had our first record deal actually on House Jam Records. John and James House, House Jam. Shout out to them. They did NXS TV for a long time, which was on.
Okay, yeah.
So
I do know.
House Jam had an imprint with Colum Capital.
I want to get him on the show.
We had our we could find him and get him on here. We actually had a record deal. My group, it was me and two girls, and we would write. We were sort of like there was a group on LaFace that had a similar model. We were sort of like them. And then like Silent Treatment, my man Griff, who was with the Sly Band, and his group, they were, we're all performing artists. They were on the label with us. And Chris Styles, you probably know Chris Styles.
Sounds super familiar.
She was with House Jam and 24 Karat, I believe, Shonda, and all of those, those. It was bringing some memories back, man.
What's some of your best memories from back then? Best, like, on stage or anything?
Probably few that stick out. We got to open up for Usher when he was Usher Raymond. He came and did a free show at Season Good Pavilion.
Never again.
Young. Yeah, we got to do that.
Did he spin his necklace around?
He didn't have the ice yet. He wasn't rocking that. He was still Usher Raymond. He was like he had to flip the collar. He's popping the collar. Yeah. But he was still like preschool lover. You know what I'm saying? He was young.
Preschool lover. What?
Had the bird chest then. He was like doing. He was young. He wasn't Usher yet.
Yeah.
So that was one of our favorite times. We also, let me see, we got to do a lot of stuff. Roberta Flack. That was when we were at SCPA. Yeah. That was great. Yeah, man, we did a lot of stuff performing at the zoo. We used to kill the Black Family Reunion every year.
Yeah.
Black Family Reunion. Oh man, Black Family Reunion, Dayton Black Cultural Fest. Loved traveling to do that when we were young.
Where were you playing overseas, and who did you go overseas with?
So the first time I went overseas, the first contract, I went with Uwe Collins, Bootsy's son. Yeah. Shout out to Bootsy and Bootzilla Records, by the way. Doing great work with them right now with the King Records, which we can talk about that if you like. Doing some major movements there, and the Bootsy Collins Foundation and the Cincinnati USA Music Heritage Foundation, along with the city now has the City Ambassadorship Program, which I'm one of those, and we're working with the King Records Legacy Committee. We got the building in Evanston.
Because they were trying to tear it down,
yeah,
right?
They were trying to. They tried it.
We trying to erase our history. Don't let us erase our history.
Let us erase history.
They was like Michelle with the bulldozer, with the backhoe.
But yeah, man. So going back to Japan, so I went over there with him and Raspberry White, and our crew from here, my man Kira, who I'm still my production partner and stuff, out of New York City by way of Michigan, Detroit, and Saginaw, and Ann Arbor. A beast, by the way. A beast on the production, bro. But we went over there, and then when that contract ended, we actually came and brought. I was at the time playing with a band called Admiral Walker, who was a huge reggae and funk band out of Cincinnati. We used to tour all over, and we would tour with Heavy Weather. So that was like Carol and Chris Walker. Chris Walker was legendary in the scene back in the day. and then Funk Intelligence, which was a group out of that Ann Arbor, Detroit area, and I was working with those guys. So my boy Akira, we connected on songwriting tip, just penning stuff. So I ended up getting him, Peter Hahn, who was the original bass player for Admiral Walker, and me, and then I grabbed Akira, and then Peter ended up not being able to go, unfortunately, which was very unfortunate because he was Korean, and if anybody knows anything about colorism, even Asians are racist against other Asians. So they were like, "No, you can't bring him over."
Based on color?
They was like, "We got Japanese, we got enough Asians over here. We don't need a." They pulled one of those.
They told him he couldn't come?
They told him he couldn't come. So
who told him he couldn't come to Asia?
So when we did the contract and we had to send in the promo pics and stuff, we money with the promo pics. So when they saw it and looked at the bio, they like, "Oh, you got to get rid of him." So we had to take a whole nother promo pic and bring. It was great business though, because they like, we paying y'all thousands of dollars to come over here and do a residency. Like, we get to say so. Like, we don't want another Asian guy.
And you said he played what?
And he's not Japanese, so we really don't want him. He was the bass player. So we had to get another bass player. It was crazy, bro. So anyway, we went over there, that contract ended, and we had gotten really cool with the agents, and they were like, they had been seeing our band. We had shown them video and stuff like, they're like, "Oh, we want you to bring them over." So then we got the contract to come for the next few. So we spent the rest of the remainder of the time renewed our contracts going over there. And yeah, that was probably the best. I mean, I was 24, 25, playing music. Initially, it was 6 days a week. Then it turned into 7. You know, I started working with the different agents over there. Like, I would play my normal gig, and then I would go do stuff for like MTV Tokyo. I was fortunate to work with like Hira Ken, who was like a super big Japanese pop artist at the time, and all types of stuff, man. And stacking that chaper. Definitely. And so when I came home, man, I was like a rock. You know, I felt like a rock star. I'm always kind of quiet and humble with it, but I was spending that chatter. And then I said one day, I looked up, I was like, this money gonna run out if I don't get a job.
Definitely. Definitely.
So and the funny thing was, when I left, I was gone for so long that, things move on without you. So I wasn't in the bands I was in anymore. Like, I had to rebuild, but that's when I started Marvin and the Experience. And I had my own, solo projects doing R&B, and we were killing it then. Like, CEA awards, traveling. I got the opportunity to take that outfit overseas.
And people are learning about you how? Just by gigging.
Yeah, man. Like, so what we did, we would double up. Like, we did the cover band thing, but we also had original music, which makes you unique because most people are either or. Most original artists might cover a song, but you very rarely find bands who like have a huge repertoire of cover songs and then a decent repertoire of original music. So we, if they said, "Oh, we want you to do a wedding," we can go from a wedding to doing a showcase. It's like that because we could pull songs here.
Or you can mix in your original song in between something real quick.
You can remix them. You know what I'm saying? Like, "Oh, that's Bobby Brown." Wait, no.
That ain't the word, though.
That ain't the word. You know what I'm saying?
Hard,
like,
bro.
Yeah, we had a, shout out to my team and my diehards and my day ones, Kevon Byers, Reggie Johnson, Jeremiah Green, Tay Mackey, Bud, Fairbanks, Siobhan, who McNair, she was actually singing with us for a while before she went on the Purple Rain with Dark Child, and then now she's doing her thing. Got a dope bar, nail and brow bar downtown. She's an entrepreneur. You got to get her in here.
Yeah, I went to Upward Bound with her. I knew her like all high school. Yeah,
you need to get her in here. Like, you talking about entrepreneur, she's doing she has a really nice place. I stopped in there one time, and I was she wasn't in there at the time, but I need to get down and see her. I haven't seen her in a long time.
You next, Siobhan.
Siobhan, you
it's
next.
Coming.
Like, these are heavyweight superstars. You know what I'm saying? People who I like. Like, these people I work with, colleagues, but I'm really a fan of all of these people because they really helped make, my life and my sound and things that I was trying to accomplish. They were along for the ride, man. They were part of that building the building, like the building blocks, man. And they immensely talented, great people, great personalities. You know what I'm saying? And then, love for the whole live music scene here. Your Natural Progression, all my homies, Key and all of them. And, I love them all, man. Like, and then like I said, I was able to, with business, able to, years ago to be able to help a lot of them start gigging on the scene and booking them at Washington Park and with the Friday Flow with 3CDC, which I was part of that team.
You still booking for 3CDC?
We're working on some stuff right now. Mm-hmm. We're working on some stuff. I haven't for a number of years because I left the company and went on to do a couple of film festivals here and in the in DC area and but yeah, we're working on some stuff. But I was there, of course, you remember, for a long time, and very blessed to have the opportunity to work with that team there and doing stuff for the culture, creating Friday Flow, creating the Culture Splash on Fountain Square, which is working with Jason Dunn and those great folks. And now it's it's grown and grown, and now they have the Vibe Cincinnati, which is tied to the music festival weekend and all the stuff that J. Raj, he's doing some great stuff. He got the concert coming up here. That's gonna be off the chain, bro. That Busta Rhymes, you go to the Busta Rhymes?
Nah, I want Busta Rhymes. I want J. Raj in here, bro. I need to talk to him.
You need to talk to him. You
He's a
definitely need to talk to him.
mastermind. His team has got to be incredible.
Oh yeah. You definitely need to, like, if you ever reached out to him.
I tried. If you can get me closer, man, we
get you
love to talk to. Y'all gonna love a J. Raj interview, man. Like, he's just a good guy. One thing about you, I don't know him personally to say he's a good guy, but he's just a good guy to talk to.
Absolutely.
He out here working.
No, he's a good guy. He's humble. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been very happy, to be, working with him just because, he has a whole nother angle and a whole nother approach as an entrepreneur. Like, I would take cues from him because he was like diving into the entrepreneur pool like early on, heavy.
To get the fruit that he getting now, you had to be in it for a long time and going in full force, man. Yeah, man. So you next too, man. J. Rod, man. One thing about you is that like, I done performed with you a few times, man, and I'm like an original artist. So sometimes learning other people's words is difficult for me. But if you don't know, Marvin will call you like an hour before a gig and be like, "Hey, you trying to play?" So, like, how have you learned to remember songs quickly?
So that goes back to that story I was telling you earlier with my aunt and just sort of like training my brain to absorb. I got to the point where I can listen to a song on the spot 2 or 3 times, and a lot of pop music the formula is very basic. Yeah, so it's like, if it's like A section, chorus, B section, chorus, C section, bridge, back to the chorus, vamp. A lot of, especially depending on the era. Now, pretty much everything it ain't got sections.
How I felt.
It's the same. They might flip. The end of the cadence or blah blah blah, but it's the same beat. It don't change much. The 808 might have some variance in it, but it's even simpler formula today. But I just sponging, man, and just vibe. We as melanated folks, that just it catches that vibration, and when we in that circle, in that womb together, man, like,
it's in the crazy. Womb together.
Yeah, it's crazy how we communicate. We don't even gotta talk to each other.
Yeah.
I did a gig last night with my boy Kevon Byers, and it's amazing sometimes. Like, he's my Aries brother and my brother in Christ and all that, and we'll be playing, and when we get into this zone, it's like we'll do the same thing without even looking at each other. I done seen him do that with Tay and all that. Like it's just weird. Like, we're supposed to be in the same. We're supposed to walk together as brothers. Like, we all kind of share that. Where we can just it's the vibration, bro. Like, it's the spirit, and I've heard it comes from the divine. Like, we're connected to something a lot deeper. So that's like, so when you vibing with us, remember I would be like, we do this, and I was like, you know what? Just do you. Yeah. You ain't got to worry about change the lyrics and do your own stuff over the beat. You know what I'm saying? And then you end up coming up with some, like, I did my original music over top of, this Biggie beat that the band played. So we did an interpolation, or we did that.
And a lot of people won't even notice, man. A lot of people be wet. They be drunk anyway. They just, I don't even care, man.
Oh yeah. But gigging, making sure people got those opportunities, man. Like, like I love the work that my man Kig Lee is doing with the Music City and the Music Accelerator. Like, that's a continuation of, a lot of stuff that we've been doing for a long time. And he's taking it to few notches.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy to support him. We just did the Make Music Day Cincinnati thing with its International Music Holiday every June 21st every year.
I was a part of that.
Yeah, on the summer solstice.
Yeah.
Were you part of it?
Yeah, I was down at the main stage on
Fountain Square?
Sawyer Point.
Sawyer Point.
Yeah.
Oh, I need some video footage, man, so I can.
I don't know if they got it.
Nobody didn't take no cell phone footage. Did you?
I mean, I just went by myself.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know they should have
hit.
hit me up. You know, I was working with the team there for that.
Really?
I didn't even know you was in. Yeah, I was one of the three: Brandon, Haley, and then myself. And then we had a few other people who were helping. But we were, organizing the partnerships. Like brought in the partnership. I worked with them with the CRC, the Recreation Commission. We had several of the recreation centers actually doing stuff with the kids and filming it. We also worked with the Music Accelerator, like I said, and they got the Cincinnati Parks on board, and it was just really every year it's growing exponentially, but it's growing. It's going to be it's an international thing, so it's like for us it's really important that when we have things like that, we don't think as much about it, the business side of it, as it is fellowship and community, and taking something like that because we can show the world. I mean, Cincinnati is so underrated and so forgotten as far as our mark in music.
Which is that funk.
Yeah. I mean, well, let's go back to King Records. Let's go back to hillbilly music in the early 20th century. Let's go back to that. And Sid Nathan. Even prior to that, Herzog music, which I'm involved with Herzog Studios, and Bucky Herzog and Sid and all that match they created. And also that working with Henry Glover, who was like the first black, and he had an executive position. We're talking about in a time where blacks could not even be in the same room on the same level as whites or whatever. There was Jim Crow and all this different stuff going on in the South and even in the North. Things. He was like important to that. He was going to the Cotton Club in Cincinnati and pulling these artists, the legendary Philip Paul, and a lot of these folks out. And, Bull Moose Jackson, who a lot of people don't know, is credited with, the first R&B, when the cadence really changed, the first commercial R&B recording, the Honey Dripper. Yeah. So right here in Cincinnati. A lot of people don't know. The Twist, which most people say Chubby Checker, that was written by Hank Ballard, bro, on Reading Road here in Cincinnati. Otis Williams, who was one of the three kings with the King Records Legacy Committee. He Heart of Stone, his group, the Otis Williams and the Charms. He was a co-writer on Fever, which is like he'd been covered by Madonna. Yeah, and all these different. Yeah, like Cincinnati has made some crazy, even to modern day. You talk about like High Tech and Black Star and his contribution to hip hop. Connecting with Mos Def and Talib Kweli. I had the opportunity. Me and Cameron Brown had the opportunity to blessed, man, like to actually be studio musicians on a track that was then became Come Clean by Anderson .Paak.
Yeah.
Never
Come Down is probably what you know it as.
Yeah, Never Come. Yeah, it's called Never Come Down. Well, I say Come Clean. I was thinking about J. Rue the Damager. My bad. So that one, I'm on the drums. Yeah. Cam's on the guitar. You know what I'm saying? Like these are things, like
I knew Cam was on there, but I didn't know that was you on there too.
Yeah, that was me on cutting the drums. Like, because we had to recreate, what I'm saying, like the feel of it, instead of, you got to be cautious of samples and all that stuff. Shout out to High Tech, a lot of the contributions he made, he was doing stuff with 50 Cent and you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of work.
Contract y'all, or do y'all see residuals from that?
He contracts us to come in. We be studio musicians. Yeah. So he pays us for the musician. We're not really writing a song for it'd be different if we were like creating, but he already had the idea. We just had to come in and take what's in his head and make it reality.
I know I was talking to somebody one day and they was talking about Cam, and I guess Cam was watching the Free Nationals and Anderson .Paak play. He was like, they're not even playing it right. That's a flex. That's a flex.
Yeah,
you
right.
Be like, bro, y'all not even.
You're not even playing it right.
Hey, bro,
yeah.
Cameron's so crazy,
he's ridiculous,
bro.
Ain't he?
Cam, Jay.
Yeah, Jonathan. Some of our other musicians, brothers.
Bro.
Cam, the Off Key Boys.
Yeah,
Cam,
bro. Like
Jonathan, Jay Skills.
I already know Skills is who he is, but when I met Cam and Jay, I was just like, man, and it'd be 3:00 in the morning at the studio. and they going hard, like it's 5 o'clock in the daytime, like playing with.
Yeah, you know those guys like Cam, like you said, those guys 3 o'clock in the morning sounding like they playing at 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Hard, bro.
Yeah, those guys are great, man. Like I love them all, man, and they've been also a part of this journey for me. You know, it's not about never about for me, and I'm gonna say this, and I can say it humbly because I stand on this. Like it's never about me. Like what it's always about like I always open my heart and my resources to be able to help other people move forward and to gain better ground. And all those guys, man, they've been a part of some of the stuff that I'm doing, and I just have a genuine love like them, and even the guys I mentioned earlier who I've been working, started working with in the early 2000s. Like, and some of them I still work with today. Like I wouldn't be able to do a lot of the things I had done without them. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about that team and all about that trust and that connection with folks. It's just we people don't get their flowers. Anybody I work, right now. I tell you, like, if I don't work with you, and even if I don't mention your name today, I'm giving you your flowers because I always try to surround myself with greatness, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's not, it's no use in wasting time or resources if you can't do it. You know what I'm saying on the high level, you can't shatter the ceiling, bro.
If you had some advice to give, like, let's say it's a musician, a young, don't even have to be young, but maybe you ain't fully stepped out, you're not gigging, you want to start gigging, what would you say the steps is to that? If nobody know you, how do you start out?
It's a couple of ways you can go about it. I mean, if you courageous enough, if you got management, or if you the type of person, you can go network. Go around to find these live music venues, go in and find out who's booking. Make sure your online presence is airtight, and just tell them I'm looking to do this. Here you go. If you want to do the live music thing, where you're a live musician or you're an artist, find a band. Find me. You can email me grouphum GROUPHUM @gmail.com. I go to the Music Accelerator, Kick Lee. Look at the Cincinnati Music Accelerator. You can Google that. We're all in the business of helping musicians move forward and be able to support themselves. If you have any musician friends or connections to different bands, try to network with them. You know what I'm saying? It's just different ways. It's always really, it's hard to say how to really get into it because it's a lot of times it's very organic.
Yeah.
There is maybe some musicians here. There is an artist here who's looking to do this. But when you kind of meet up, accidentally or intentionally, and then it's either gonna create magic or it's not. You got those moments. And then once you get together and you like, oh, we want to do this, get your business tight. Make sure your online presence. You can get a manager, somebody to represent you. If you represent yourself, make sure you're talking the right game. You know what I'm saying? And educating yourself on the music. I mean, YouTube University now, like it ain't nothing you can't learn.
You can get a whole. You might be able to become a doctor on YouTube.
Yeah, you can't. Like at this day and age, like artists don't even have to have managers. If they got the right discipline and the right work-life balance period, they can manage themselves and do that. You can go. You got people telling you about the pros and the cons of the industry. You got people that educate you on how to set up your companies, how to create an LLC, how to get your publishing administered, you can reach out and and a lot of these companies, if your stuff is good, they more than welcome to invite you in because they getting paid too. Yeah. It's transactional.
Yeah.
Business transaction.
Yeah, and that go back to being resourceful again, just figuring out a way to make it happen, man.
Exactly.
Let's see. What do you do if at the end of the night the promoter don't have your money?
That's interesting.
That's interesting.
Because if you got your paperwork right, then you can take it to court.
Yeah.
If it was on a handshake, then you can take it to
the streets.
Your cousin, the streets. Yeah.
One of these
to the
old
streets.
School.
It's always good. To be honest with you, like it's good to have somewhere tucked away some muscle. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't the muscle, you got somebody. I want. This is funny, and I'm not gonna mention the names, but I had a partner who was also a musician, his brother, we were talking one time, was like, yeah, said something about getting into an altercation about getting paid for something. And we said, oh, you don't want to go in there, you know what I'm saying? Because them cats is strapped. Like, you got to go and you got to get a strap to go in there. He said, I am the strap. I was like, okay. He's like, yeah, like ain't nobody gonna take advantage of us. So I always love that interaction. But yeah, not to perpetuate violence, because I'm not at all trying to say that.
Only whoop somebody if you got to.
If you got to, you got to pull that out. You know what I'm saying? Or you got to pull part of your team, and they can do that for you. But more than likely, you know, a lot of artists, if you notice, you know, especially if you you get a name for yourself, you get your money before you go on stage, or you ain't going on stage.
Yeah. Kelly Price just had something. Did you hear about them?
No,
she had something just go down in Texas where she pretty much just aired out a promoter for just like a bad business practice. He played like her and Life Jennings. It's interesting if you listen to the whole video though.
I gotta check that one out.
Yeah, check that out.
She didn't get paid basically.
Yeah, she flew all the way to Texas, and the promoter just tried to like play her. Listen to it. I think it's like look up Kelly Price promoter. Once you put in Kelly Price PRO, it's probably gonna be like, oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You wanna hear let that promoter have it? Here you go.
Wow. Hey, that's funny because you said her and Life Jennings, but I don't see Life Jennings not getting his money.
Yeah, he probably walked up on him like, hey yo, you.
Yeah, like Jennings, like from what I know, and I don't know him, but I know people who have booked him, and I know some people who actually are close to him, like just have to connect. They say he don't play, so I can't imagine. You know, maybe it did happen. The promoter probably got missing, and that's probably the only way he got away with that. You know what I'm saying?
Must be life. Man.
Yeah,
must be
life.
All right, we're gonna play another game, and then we got a couple more questions if we got enough tape. Let's see if we can make it. This is more type shit hip hop trivia. Type shit hip hop trivia. We the home of that shit, man.
We the home.
Yes, sir. Name 2 rappers whose first name is Clifford.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't T.I.'s name Clifford?
That's 1.
And give me a
The one that I'm thinking about specifically, he's from New York.
LL Cool J? Okay. Give me a lifeline.
He's a member of a rap group with at least 40 million members.
Wu-Tang Clan.
You got the right group now.
So it's gonna be Method Man.
Method Man.
Yes, I knew that. And it's funny because you had to just refresh my memory. Yeah.
Clifford.
Neither
of them look like, especially T.I.
He don't like a Clifford.
Yeah, he acts
maybe
like
a Cletus.
He got that old school.
He got that old, like when he gonna be somebody uncle with the wife beater and the beer belly when he get older.
Oh, man,
sitting
with the beer belly
with the house shoes on, like
bringing that on over here, man.
Nah. Expeditiously.
Okay, here's another one.
All right.
What does the B.I.G. in Notorious B.I.G. stand for?
Wow.
There's a period in between each letter, which makes it, I believe, was that an acronym?
Yeah, acronym. I don't know this one. I feel like I heard it on like a documentary, and I think I was like half in, half out. I need a lifeline on that
one. I don't really know how to give you a clue for this. Okay, here's what Biggie would say. That's the clue.
Notorious
B.I.G. stands for what?
I'll
give you a hint. The I stands for instead. I don't really see you getting this one, man. This is a stomper right here. We should have bet some money. Don't link the Notorious with the B.I.G. The B.I.G. it just stands for something. I don't think it's really linked like to Notorious.
Is the G stand for the word great?
Nope.
Oh man.
We're about to count you down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
He like one of my he on my top 10, bro. Like I can't even
The B.I.G. and Notorious B.I.G. stands for business instead of game.
Business instead of game.
Yeah, we've been talking about it.
Exactly.
Okay. We're going to give you one more. No, actually, we're going to do two more. Who were the original hosts of 106 in Park?
Wow. Was that Free and was it Tigger?
Oh.
No, it wasn't Tigger. It was I know Free, but the other guy he had braids.
Yeah. He had the braids. The braids to the dreads.
Yeah. And I can't think of his name, but you know I got the right person.
Yeah.
Look at 5.
Big
Look at 4.
Free and
3.
J.
2. Look at 1.
AJ and Free.
AJ.
AJ.
See, I said J.
Yeah.
So I had it like I know it was like J. AJ and Free. Yeah.
He went on to work on like Entertainment Tonight and became like a pretty big journalist.
Yeah, he did.
See, man, this is not all just. This is a perfect balance of entertainment, education, hip hop history. What else you need, man?
Yeah, what else you need?
Bruh, 6 Sense Media, man. Type Shit Podcast. Make sure you follow us right now, man. One more question for the trivia. Fat girls blank it better. What do fat girls do better than anybody else? Fat girls blank it better. It's crazy, I know. It's all an opinion question. It might be your own experience.
Oh my God.
Fat girls blank it's better.
Shake it better.
It's however you feel.
I mean, they definitely jiggly, right?
Some of them be stiff. Some of them be hard.
Some of them got the, they like, my brother call it tone fat, where it's like tone.
Mark Henry.
Yeah, like tone, but it ain't like because it don't have no jiggle to it, but it's fit when tone fat. Like he always see like Kimbo Slice in them. Kimbo Slice was like tone fat.
Yeah.
At one point in time.
It's a girl from Avondale. She built just like Mark Henry. Real broad shoulders with no ass.
No ass at all.
Not at all. No ass at all, man. That might be the worst, man.
I'm glad you ain't say her name. That's what I'm really glad.
I don't know her now. I call her Mark Henry.
Mark Henry. Yo, hey, Mark.
Okay, we're gonna get you up out of here after this one, man.
All right.
What's been like the biggest obstacle for you?
I won't. And there was a time when I looked at this as an obstacle, but then I turned it into motivation.
That's how you treat
it. And I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. I love my city. But Cincinnati at times has the potential or has the tendency to be a crab in the bucket type deal. Like, so if you doing something, people they don't necessarily want to be happy for you. Only certain people. And that's probably across the world. I don't just attribute it to Cincinnati, but Cincinnati because it's like the littlest big city, I call it, in the United States. Yeah. Like they just like, trying to either get what you got, like take your opportunity for themselves. A lot of opportunities, or hate on you so much that you can't really, what I'm saying? Because I already call it a pigeonhole town. I mean, was it Mark Twain was right on when he said, if the world ended tomorrow, I want to be in Cincinnati because they're 20 years behind. It's now starting to catch up a little bit, but not really, because if you go to these bigger markets, they still light years ahead of us. I'm not hating on my city because I love it. I'm from here. It's afforded me a lot of opportunities, putting myself in those places or being blessed enough to be guided to those places and those resources and meeting people. But the biggest obstacle, is just, for when you get into like business, like corporate, and you get into like, there's still that undercurrent of like racism and, like that where like it's very tough to get ahead. Like, if you're talented, you got talent. Those powers that be in these positions, in these places where you can get in and do some really great work, you're only good as that talent you can bring to the table. And that's a business thing too, but they real quick to amplify your flaws or amplify if one thing goes wrong, scapegoat you or amplify you in that situation to kill everything that you built so that they can take credit for the good things.
To get you out there. They can take your clout, the good clout, and move forward with it, and then leave you with the bad clout so you can't move forward.
So you can't move forward. They try to do that. They definitely like I mean I don't even want to get into that, but I've definitely had some but a lot too. I've had some situations where I was just dealing with people in my circle who brought other energies around, you know what I'm saying, and you trust people that you invest time and energy into, and they may bring somebody to the table that ends up doing something crazy. Like you don't know them as well as
as you thought.
This person they brought into the circle just because they're not sound or whatever, they end up doing something that sets the process back, or you got to do damage control. I've had that happen, but overall, the community itself, what I'm saying, and I'm not saying it's happened to me to where like still a lot of people I love and respect, what I'm saying, and you move on from situations, a lot of positive. Most of the things I've had is positive. I'm not a person who puts out that type of energy, so I've been blessed, bro. I ain't even gonna perk, but I've had a few where it's like, and then you start to look. I'm always the person that looks at myself like, what could I have done differently or better in that situation? So I try to learn from it. It's like I said, I turn it into motivation. Next time I'll know what it looks like, and I, will pivot or, learn how to work around it or work through it. But definitely, man, like, don't get it twisted. You got a lot of, if you're doing something, if you're the first to do something. I was watching something the other day, and they was like, you never want to be the first person to do something because you don't get the credit for it. It's always the person who takes the idea and retools it and regurgitates it. And then I don't know what it was. It was a documentary on Netflix about pop music, and the whole thing was about T-Pain. Watch it, bruh. And they talk about how T-Pain was the one who he tricked
music, bro.
So he searched for a year before he even found Auto-Tune. He had a record deal. He's putting out the stuff. He was trying to figure out like what's gonna set me apart. And he had heard Auto-Tune that
on like a share record,
share and all that.
Can you?
Yeah. And he searched for a year until he found it. And then he saw all the people, industry people, saying like, you can't do that. And then he went on to make it huge. But then people hated on him. It wasn't until Kanye West did 808s and Heartbreaks that the industry accepted it. But nobody wanted to touch T-Pain unless he was on your hook. Think about it. T-Pain is who blew up DJ Khaled. What was DJ Khaled's song that broke him in? All I do is win, 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 no matter. That was his international hit.
Yeah.
Who on the hook?
Yeah. Apple bottom jeans, boost. That's on a Kroger commercial.
Yes.
Bro, like, I was just thinking that.
T-Pain wrote that?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Low. That's Flow Rider.
That's Flow Rider's song, but that's T-Pain on the hook.
It is, ain't it?
Yeah. He popped Flow Rider off.
He popped Flow Rider off.
Flow Rider shows Flow Rider's so big that he don't even promote this no more.
Oh,
y'all can't come. We ain't gonna tell y'all about it. We go over in Belize somewhere. We on.
He do anything.
When's the last time you seen like Flow Rider coming?
You ain't seen him.
No, man. He in Dubai somewhere, turning up.
Yeah, turning up parties.
Bruh. They don't even promote him.
That's like big Little John too.
Yeah, they don't even promote him no more.
They don't even do that. Yeah, they don't care. Yeah, they you move up levels. I ain't gonna say they don't care about us and the culture. They taking the culture global. That's what I'm saying. The whole globe is in hip hop is the biggest export.
Has anybody ever stole your sauce and tried to capitalize off of it? I'm dealing with it right now with this hip hop trivia stuff.
Yeah, but we're gonna talk about that because we're gonna figure out how I want to help you take that to the next level using my event management and event production side. Like, how can we take what you created?
Yeah. We ain't gonna talk about it on here.
Cut that out.
People be like, give me that. Give me that. I don't never talk to God. Yeah, let's take your idea.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, man. Like I'm gonna be very. I'm gonna dance around this a little bit.
Keep your face clean.
When my group, when I was coming out of high school, we were working with a very prominent group of producers from Cincinnati. They were nationally known, and I was doing a lot of vocal arranging and writing and stuff. And we had a 5-piece. Our group, we sang 5-piece harmony, so we were doing like Fifth Dimensions tunes
Mm.
You know, like Marilyn McCoo and all, you know, like killing it. And I was doing these arrangements, giving it more of an R&B twist. These particular producers, come to find out, we did the recordings and we didn't hear from them for a long time. Somehow we found out that they were shopping they were shopping the arrangements around to try to get people to pick them up. But they weren't telling us.
How do you shop arrangements?
It's weird, and I don't know how they were planning to pull that one off, but because we weren't doing the songs like they were originally recorded, we were doing our own. And in the industry, a lot of times when you recreate it, they call it an interpolation. When you like take the idea. That's why I was amazed that freaking Robin Thicke got caught up in that lawsuit. I mean, people do interpolation all the time. Like that, and if you listen to Marvin Gaye's song and his song, they are totally different. Like, oh my God, listen to them side by side. They are totally different, bro. The key is different. The way the bass line rides is different. The aesthetic is there. I can see like the feel of the song.
If Pharrell didn't do that yell, I think that's a big part of it. Because you automatically link it with, oh, that's Marvin Gaye, yeah. Like, oh.
But you got, this the thing though. They didn't sample it. It's one thing to take the record, sample it, and then have Robin Thicke sing over it. Because you will borrow directly from, like, you are using that to make, you're already using an intellectual property to make money. Because that's why, you know, hip hop, they like, don't sample. They don't really get, they do it now. They disguise the samples now. They like freaking tweak them. You might have, you know, some people, you know, the samples, of course, but that, like, if you really, 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 and I know this argument was, it's an old argument. If you really, really listen, bro, like, those songs are totally different. Who hasn't been influenced? If that was the case, why didn't Pharrell get hit for Jack and Vanity 6, Nasty Girl for Britney Spears? I'm a slave for you. That's a doom.
Yeah, that's definitely.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They want to come with me.
Yeah.
I'm nasty girl.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's crazy.
what happened? Like,
they like,
Robin Thicke got hit,
yeah.
but they didn't. You know that was directly. You could tell that was directly influenced, bro. That's Nasty Girl.
It's the clout. It's the YouTube famous.
Britney Spears is bigger than Robin Thicke.
I think it's Pharrell. They're probably like, man, this is the second time, bro. We gotta get you, bro. You keep doing it.
Yeah, you keep doing it. But think about it, like but my point is, who's not influenced by past artists?
Yeah.
If he could, like, he couldn't be influenced by Marvin Gaye and be like, I want to get that same kind of vibe and that feel, but I'm gonna do it differently in a different key. The arrangement's gonna be definitely different. It's different, dude. Listen to it.
I gotta listen to it again. It sounded similar.
It's so different. It's very similar. It's in the style of.
Yeah.
But it is not.
It get tricky, bro. That's when them clauses and contracts start.
Yeah, it's different though. It's crazy. I was amazed that the industry set that precedent when they let. There's got to be something going on. Had to be something else about that.
I think just where we at in the world, we're like everybody getting their hands smacked. Like, you can't do that. Can't do that.
Yeah.
It's like we trying to, like, it's almost like the universe know it's so dirty where it's like, I know this stuff used to fly, but we trying to clean it up. So just everybody stop all the.
Yeah. You know what I bet? I bet the damn judge was a huge Marvin Gaye fan. Probably a distant cousin. Nah, I'm not tripping. Like,
I can see that.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
I represented Marvin back in the day when I was an attorney.
Like, you can't do that. Like, we're gonna slap you.
Probably was an older dude who like, man, how you gonna just do that to my? He was more defined to like, man, that's what I grew up on.
That's what I grew up on. I'll be damn. Like, no, you gotta pay. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's probably what it really happened.
Because wait, who else did that just happen? Somebody else that happened to?
Bob James realized somebody sampled him from like the 90s. He just now figuring it out. And you know, you can only go back so far.
Yeah.
But I forget the song, but Bob James told a story about how somebody, I think it was like, I want to say like
DJ
Tribe Called Quest or something, where it was like 40 samples playing all at once.
Uh-huh.
But
he called it, huh? He heard it. Like,
Bob James is a monster, bro. Bob James is a beast.
He had so many. His stuff was like all over. Like, what was the one joint that did Wu-Tang sample him? Like dun 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 dun. Was it them? Was that song? Was somebody that sampled that one? They got the ambient, like the crazy piano part that come in, like
Yeah.
because he playing the Rhodes, right? Yeah, like he playing the Rhodes on that joint.
We're gonna figure that one out.
Yeah,
Bring
yeah.
y'all the answer to that, man.
You know, bro, that. Shout out to my man DJ Mr. Rare Groove. That's the griot, bro. Shout out to all the DJs, the griots. Talk about African culture and the people keeping the folklore and it's in the music, bro. Like
yeah.
the griots are DJs. They got the connection to all of it. They able to give you the story. They can tell you that story. You know, if you got a DJ that know his, he can play you. He can take you through soul music and relate it, and how it all went into hip hop, and then how even hip hop artists were sampling the soul music. That's
our time capsule.
Yeah.
That's
DJs,
how we honor our ancestors through the samples. That's crazy.
Yeah, real DJs though. Don't we ain't gonna get into that.
Yeah,
Because everybody now they just buy Serato. Like, I'm DJ. You know
it's a
what I'm saying?
playlist. It ain't even no
It ain't-
mixes
yeah,
sometimes.
No, it ain't. I'm DJ Backwood.
Really?
About that.
Really. Playing with Reggie Talent.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
What's the best advice you ever received that you still refer to?
That's crazy because it's been so much. Few things. Be humble. Never talk about what you do, but do what you do. And that would probably be the two that, you know, that stuck out to me.
Be humble. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. Because that's really kind of, you know, like I disappear on you in a minute, and people don't know where I'm at, then I'll pop up with something new. Because I got to go into that creative space where I can like breathe and heal and really think. Because the thing about it, like, you know, you got a lot of people clout chasing, like I was talking about earlier. You got a lot of people who are not creative, who just love to jump on something because they want to capitalize. There's a lot of that going on. So you just got to be real careful, like with your intellectual property, your business, any of that stuff, your ideas, because trust me, it gets real out here.
It gets super real. I try to work all my talents. So like I do stand-up comedy too. I'm at a stand-up comedy show. I'm not in the show, but I'm talking to one of the comedians before he go on. We just having a conversation. And I have to do funny stuff because it kills the pain.
Mm-hmm.
So like everything naturally, it's just funny.
That's you.
That's just how I formulate.
Yeah.
Something that we talked about made its way to stage seconds after I said it. And it's just like, damn.
He was looking for material. He was
he a savage. He must always just like, bro, it don't matter.
Did it land?
People laugh, and I just stared at it. I walked up to the stage and stared at it.
That's like that Key and Peele skit where when when they were in the classroom and Key and Peele were talking. I like what do you say? It's so funny. You got to go back and see. Jordan Peele said something funny. He was this nerd, and then Key repeated it, and then the teacher and everybody started laughing, and then the one Latino comedian who just happened to be in the hallway, he brought him in, and he was telling the joke. I can't remember what it was, and he ended up landing to open up for the comedian, and Key is sitting in the classroom like, whoa. Y'all remember what was that?
I never seen that skit.
Oh my god, it's so funny, but it's the same principle. It's like he had just literally said it, and dude took it and jacked it.
I didn't have that happen, man. I feel like God got his hand on me in a different way, man. Like because this, like the intellectual property where somebody just like feel like you just did something fresh and they want to use it. It been happening to me since like high school. Just being, if you just an original person, you kind of. I hang by myself.
Yeah.
So I don't really have nobody to take nothing from.
You definitely are reclusive. Like I noticed that about you. You walk alone, which I'm the kind of the same way.
Yeah, you see me out somewhere at an event, and I just be
like chilling.
I walk through.
I'm like 6, like what's up, man? Like
I'm an only child, man. I'm just used to it, man, and it keep my connection with God high. Like I feel like, because I don't pick up a lot of other people's vibration. I do want to work on that just to be like. I'm not a bad guy, so it's cool to be more social. Yeah. But it's something I
you ain't got to do that.
On.
Let me tell you why. Because only when it's necessary, bro. Because you got a lot of energy vampires too.
Definitely. So man, protect your intellectual property, man. And I don't say that in a preachy way. I say that in just learning to be an entrepreneur, man. You got to protect your idea because somebody will Lego your idea.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? It's really, trying to build trust, man. Like, that's the hardest thing, because people, they ain't out here for you necessarily. They out here for themselves. Just when you think you got somebody that's riding, they definitely trying to preserve what they got going on.
Yeah.
Like, so, but that's all in stride, man. You never stop being you, never stop being who you are. You know what I'm saying? If you're the type of person that gives, because the universe is always going to reward you.
Yeah. It be people who forget to give you your flowers, but the universe is you're gonna be straight.
You're going to be straight. Got you. The universe got you.
What talk about how many kids you got?
I have 4.
So having one is hard. So how do you balance having 4 kids, that family work relationship, especially since the work relationship is what's paying and keeping the family intact? How do you balance that?
Well, I got a spread. So my oldest, actually, who helps me a lot, she's great. That's when I was telling you I need to talk to her about some of the ideas. But she's 23. And then her sister is 14.
Yeah.
And then I have 2 boys who are 6 and 7. So I like started all over again, but the thing was I had my girls and then I had my boys. So the girls and boys are very different. But the thing is, it's got to be understanding about and sort of a balance of like what I do is partially what pays the bills.
Yeah.
So there's never really any question, you know what I'm saying, and of course between their mom and then you know what I'm saying my girls, they also my oldest, she definitely helps take care of my boys at times too and all that stuff because they're younger. But it's just a balance. We ain't really been out there the last year, the pandemic, so it's a different. So now getting back out there becomes, what does that look like? What is the balance there?
Yeah.
Because before, you might go hard.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying, I got to balance the time between making sure I'm spending time with family.
Yeah.
And the kids, and making sure you're in their life, and then also, what I'm saying, working.
Yeah.
Some people say that the work ethic, you might have to sacrifice that with the kids, but I don't necessarily believe that. Now, like, definitely it's gonna be some sacrifice. There's gonna be times when you got things going on, you're not gonna really see, saying your family as much.
Right.
I've experienced that, you know what I'm saying? But, it's all about too what you accept, what you willing to put yourself through. Like, if you ain't come, it was a time where we was always coming out for those like $100, you trying to piece together those $100, $150, $200 gigs. But if you up in the ante, because know your value and your worth, you can change that. I'm only gonna do 1 or 2 gigs a week. I gotta make sure on each gig I make this amount.
Yeah.
That way you ain't gotta go out 5 times a week. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just depends on what you're doing. And then, like I said, other revenue streams, passive income. Where it's at, man, is the publishing, the writing, and all that.
You still see like residuals from writing?
Oh yeah. That's some good stuff.
What say, like, you have anything that people might know or?
Nah, nothing that I would like say. I mean, no, not like that. Like, some of my stuff is like corporate stuff. Nothing that people would know mainstream wise yet. But that's coming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's coming. We got the writing team we just put together right now. We got some heat coming. Yeah.
That's what's up. Let's see if I got anything left for you, man. We covered a gang of topics today, man. Is it any game that you just want to give, maybe a younger version of yourself, or some advice that you can give?
Bet on yourself sooner in life.
That hit hard.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I just think that, the way we socialize and kind of the way we came up, us as brown and black folks, we didn't necessarily think we could attain a certain level of success or be independent or have our own business or be an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that is generational too. Like I'm not young, but I ain't old either. But my thing is like, if I had a bet on myself, I had a lot of hopes and dreams, and I've accomplished a lot. Don't get me wrong, I'm not tripping. But entrepreneur wise, had I went hard maybe 10 years earlier, I could have had a little bit more traction, gained a little bit more ground. But everything is in due time, bro. Like I don't think that the process is the process, and and fate is fate, and how things unfold, spirit guides you. You know what I'm saying? You come into your own when you're supposed to. There's no mistake. There's no coincidence. Yeah. This is the way I was supposed to arrive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So yeah, man, we're gonna get up out of here, man. Appreciate Marv for coming back through. Well, coming through today, man. You make sure y'all hit them up. Where can they find you at?
Well, you can email me at grouphum, GROUPHUM @gmail.com or grouphumENT @gmail.com. I also have a website coming soon. So marvinhawkins.com. And also with Group Hum, we also have a new web presence launching at the end of the summer. Totally revamped and retooled what we've been doing in the past, and really looking forward to new beginnings and a new facelift. So yeah, excited, and us working together too.
Definitely, man. So it's more coming, man. Definitely more. Make sure you check out Type Shit Podcast on Instagram, YouTube. And make sure you go to sixcentsmedia.com, sixcentsmedia.com. That's where you can see everything that we do here at Six Sense Media. You can check out the merch store, man. Get you one of these lovely shirts, man. We got Type Shit shirts.
Type Shit.
Right now, they still being made by hand by me, designed by me, man.
Beautiful.
Yeah, man. He got one on too, man.
Yeah,
I
I'm rocking
appreciate
this,
that.
bro. I kind of like I'm sorry I ain't get that one, but
You get both, man.
Yeah, I might have to grab another one.
Man, you put on the right pair of Air Max with that, man.
Yeah,
All you need is some shorts.
Yeah, exactly.
Good, man.
The right color scheme, popping.
Yeah, man. Get you some of this, man. Love Thy Hater. You gotta love thy hater, man.
Love Thy Hater. That's the one I need.
For they first loved you.
That's the one I need right there, bro.
Yeah, man. Love Thy Hater.
Little compassion. Man. You gotta love the haters because they give you, you know what I'm saying, motivation.
They give you motivation, and once you really dig into a hater, you see like, hate turned into empathy for them. It's like, oh, I see what's happening.
Yeah.
I really feel bad for you now, man. Yeah. So man, love that hater, man.
Yeah, haters are really fans deep down.
But they just don't know how to express it.
They don't know how to express it, so they rather, because they live it, their energy is low. They want to pull you into that low energy pool. You can't let it, man. You gotta stay, stay focused.
And
stay woke.
It's never too late to change your energy, bro. It's never too late to have a paradigm shift. It's never too late, bro. So start the day in good faith. Use that faith that you say you got. Use it.
Use it.
Everybody got faith till something bad happened, and they crying.
Crying.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man. This is the Type Shit Podcast, man. We talk to entrepreneurs about entrepreneurship for you, the entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man. Until next time. Goodbye.
Deuces.